What's up, guys? This is going to be week 9 recap and week 10 predictions. Interesting week from this week, especially from my team. Some disappointment, but let's start off with the recap. Thursday Night Football, the Saints and the Panthers. Saints wound up winning 28-10. I believe this was at Panthers home, so they broke their little losing streak they had on away games. So that's good for them. Panthers not looking good. They're not ready for the playoffs, I don't think. Let's move on to Jacksonville and Cincinnati. This was pretty close going into the half. I believe it was like 16-9 or 17-9 or something like that. And it was actually pretty close until Cincinnati grew their lead more and more and wound up winning by 10 points. But I expected a bigger separation in points between Jacksonville and Cincinnati, but they still won. So Tampa Bay and Cleveland. This could have went both ways, but it wound up in Cleveland's favor. Again, Tampa Bay faced with having to try another game-winning drive, which is probably their fourth this season, if I'm not mistaken. And they've completed some and they've missed some, and this is one of the ones they missed. Cleveland winds up winning 22-17. I'm high on Cleveland right now, except for the fact that for the average teams, I could see them winning, but against these uh, you know good teams that usually make the playoffs, I don't see them winning yet. Um, Especially about who they face next week, which is the Bengals. But uh, the New York Jets versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Now this one was actually pretty crazy. First, I would just like to point out that I predicted this one spot on. I predicted who was going to win, and I also predicted the score, and the score came out right for me as well. Um, I predicted that the Kansas City Chiefs would win 24-10, and the Kansas City won 24-10. So pat on the back for me for getting one right after I don't know 100 tries. But anyway, this one was actually pretty crazy. Kansas City, um, Alex Smith, I think, had a pass blocked from him, and it went right into Anthony Fasano's hands, and he was sitting on the floor, and just scored a touchdown, and that was pretty sick if you ask me. So, wow. Um, Arizona and Dallas. This one was much needed for my division. I know that Giants season is over, but if we could have a chance, then let it happen. And I don't like Dallas Cowboys anyway. Tony Romo was out. Brendan Whedon played, put up 17 points, but Arizona came up with the win, 28-17. Um, Carson Palmer having a good day, 3 touchdowns. I think that's a tie for the most highest in this season for him. Most touchdowns in one game for him, tied. Let's see, Miami and San Diego, huge upset for me. I've had some people tell me that Miami was gonna win. I didn't believe it because I still thought of San Diego being a playoff caliber team. Sorry, and maybe even a Super Bowl contender, but that obviously was not the case. So Miami wins 37 to donuts 0. Philadelphia and Houston. I was so hoping that Houston would win, and I believe they had the lead sometime, but Philadelphia came up with the win. Mark Sanchez is now starting instead of Nick Foles, so maybe that'll help us a little bit. Even though I think, yeah, he'll be back. Nick Foles will be back by the time we face him. We faced him week 17, so he'll be back. But Philadelphia wins. They move on to 6-2, I believe. Washington and Minnesota. Thank you, Minnesota, for taking out Washington. Because if it wasn't for Minnesota pulling off this win by 3 points, 29-26, then Washington would have gotten ahead of us in the division, and that is not what we want. We're in third place, and third place I'm kind of content with being how talented the Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles are. But I do not want to lose the lead to the Washington Redskins. No way. So yeah, Denver and Patriots. I thought Peyton Manning wanted this year to be his. Like since he already passed the touchdown record, I was thinking, man, he wants to go far, so he wants to make sure no one breaks his record. But wow, I mean, he slacks on the really important games, and these regular season games where he's facing good teams but not the best, he always slacks off, and he always does good against the regular team. So that's one thing about Peyton Manning that everyone needs to know about. He slacks off when you really need him, but when you already expect he's gonna win, he wins. But when you really know when you really think he's gonna dominate, he always slacks off against a really good team. So Patriots come out with the win, 43-21. Not any disrespect on Peyton Manning. I'm just saying that plain and simple. I mean, it's entirely his fault because there's 21 other guys you got to account for on the field. So, all right, Seattle and Oakland. Now this is showing Seattle's true colors every single week about how bad Seattle is getting and how you know how teams are able to get the best of them at sometimes. They still win. They still don't win by a good margin. All right. Oakland, the worst team in the NFL, arguably, is 0-8 right now because of the Seattle loss. But going into it was 0-7 and was able to put up 24 points against the Seattle Seahawks and also had the lead at some point. Come on. It was the final score 30-24, an extremely close game for the Super Bowl champs and the worst team in the NFL. Huge margin. But Sunday night football. Ravens and the Steelers. 43-23. I thought the Ravens were gonna win this one, but I had some people say just choose whoever's at home, and I was like, okay, well that's stupid. But it's not, I guess, because I guess in this division, AFC North, whoever's at home usually wins. So Steelers win. Ben Roethlisberger throwing another 6 touchdowns. That's 12 touchdowns in 2 games. Eli Manning has 16 touchdowns in 9 games. Think about that. 9 games with 16 touchdowns, and you have Ben Roethlisberger throwing 12 touchdowns in 2 games. Man, wow. He's gonna pass if he does well next game against the Jets, then he is gonna pass Eli Manning in 3 games. That is insane. But anyway, Monday Night Football. I'll get into that in my Let's Talk Giants video. I'm already 8 minutes in. Wow. Let's get into the actual predictions. Thursday Night Football. Bengals and the Browns. Bengals are at home. I believe the Browns are good, but I don't think they're going to be able to beat the Bengals. I believe they'll put up a fight, though, 24-20. Chiefs and the Bills. The Bills look good, but the Chiefs are on a roll right now. I predict the Chiefs to win 30-20. Falcons and the Bucks. This is the day that Falcons. This is the week rather that the Falcons are going to break their away losing streak. The Falcons are going to win 37-16 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And also, Josh McCown might be starting, so that might be a bad thing. In London, you've got the Cowboys and the Jaguars. In London, Tony Romo might not start, okay? But besides the fact, this is the second worst team in football. Cowboys will win 31-21. Steelers and the Jets. Steelers are on a roll right now. New York Jets are completely not. But somehow they're able to put up some points. So I'm going to have the Steelers win 30-17. Maybe more points, but I'll stick with that. 30-17. Dolphins and the Lions. This is a pretty evenly matched team. I believe they're both underrated. Even though Lions are leading the division, some people just really don't like the Lions. But I like the Lions. I don't hate them too much and they beat us, but I predict the Lions to win this one at home 28-24. Ravens and the Titans. these are really, really different teams, skill based. The Titans are. I just don't like the Titans, and the Ravens. I believe that they're a really high caliber team. For some reason, I think that Ravens are going to win only by 7 points. I predict them to win 28-21. We'll see, but that's my prediction. So 49ers and the Saints. Saints have a good record at home, but I don't think they're going to be enough. It's not, that statistic won't be enough against the 49ers coming into town. I believe they'll win 26-21. Uh, for 49ers really need to pick it up if they really are going to exceed the expectations of them winning a Super Bowl this year. So you got to pass the Cardinals, even though I want the Cardinals to win the division. Broncos and the Raiders. This isn't even fair as a divisional matchup. I mean, this is not fair. The best team in the AFC versus the worst team in football. You got to be kidding me. Well, second best. I believe the Patriots are a little higher caliber, but 45-17 is my prediction. Cardinals and the Rams. The Cardinals, a really, really, really good team. Really picked it up. Gonna go past 10-6 this year, I believe. The Rams are finding ways to beat their divisional matchups, like the Seattle Seahawks and like the San Francisco 49ers. But I still believe the Cardinals to win. The Cardinals will go 8-1. 8-1 for the Saint. I almost said St. Louis Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals. So I don't even watch baseball. Okay. Sunday Night Football, the Bears and the Packers. This game already happened before. I believe the Packers won 38-17. I'll have the same score for the Packers, 38, and I'll have the Bears, 23. 38-23, Packers win. Monday Night Football, Panthers and the Eagles. Panthers are not looking good at all. But I believe they'll put up some points against the Eagles, against their weak secondary. And the Eagles, I believe, will win this one, even though they do not have Nick Foles, who wasn't a big factor in the first place. But you have Mark Sanchez, who's a he performed well in preseason for the Eagles, and he performed well against the Texans. But you don't know how he really, really plays yet when he gets used to it, because he hasn't started a game since 2012, or even played a game rather. So we'll see. I believe the Eagles to win 20-17 on Monday Night Football. Leave a comment below. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video, please. It helps me out. I'm trying to get to 10 subscribers, and after that, try to get to 15 and 20, so on and so forth. So thank you guys for watching, and join me in my Let's Talk Giants video.